On May 21st, 1946, a screwdriver slipped. For half a second, a room in New Mexico filled with blue light. The physicist holding that screwdriver looked down at his hands, and he knew, in that instant, that he was already a dead man. He had 9 days left. The metal sphere in front of him had already killed another scientist 9 months earlier in the same laboratory, and it was built to do something far worse than kill 2 men. The scientists of Los Alamos gave it a name. They called it the Demon Core. To understand this sphere, you have to go back to August of 1945, Hiroshima, then Nagasaki. 2 bombs, 2 cities erased, but America had built a third core. 14 pounds of plutonium, machined into a sphere the size of a softball, scheduled to ship out to the Pacific within days. It was meant for a third Japanese city, then Japan surrendered. The third bomb was never assembled. The core stayed behind at Los Alamos, and the scientists decided to use it for experiments. August 21st, 1945. Physicist Harry Daghlian comes back to the lab after hours, against safety rules. His experiment is simple and insane. He stacks bricks of tungsten carbide around the core, one by one. Every brick reflects escaping neutrons back into the plutonium, pushing it closer to criticality, the invisible line where the chain reaction starts feeding itself. One more brick. His hand slips. The brick lands directly on top of the sphere. The core goes supercritical, and a blue glow fills the room. He grabs the brick with his bare hand and tears it away. It takes him seconds. It is already too late. 25 days later, he is dead. The hand that touched the brick was destroyed from the inside, and his body shut down piece by piece, killed by a dose of radiation he never saw, never heard, and never felt. You would think Los Alamos would lock the sphere away forever. Instead, the experiments continued, and they became bolder. Louis Slotin was the best in the world at this procedure. His job was to lower a dome of beryllium over the core, closer and closer, without ever letting it close completely. A tiny gap of air was the only thing preventing a runaway reaction. Protocol required fixed safety spacers in that gap. Slotin used the flat blade of a screwdriver, held in his own hand. Enrico Fermi reportedly watched him do it and warned him he would be dead within a year. Richard Feynman had a name for this kind of experiment, tickling the tail of a sleeping dragon. On May 21st, 1946, in front of 7 other men, the dragon woke up. The screwdriver slipped. The dome snapped shut, exactly 9 months after the first accident. On the exact same day of the month, the 21st, the room flashed blue. A wave of heat rolled over the men, and some of them tasted something sour in their mouths. That taste was the radiation itself, ionizing the air inside their mouths. Slotin reacted in under a second. He ripped the dome off with his bare hand, stopping the reaction and taking the full force of the dose to shield the men behind him. Then he did something almost impossible to imagine. He calmly drew a sketch of where every man had been standing, so the doctors could calculate exactly how much radiation each of them had absorbed. His own dose came back higher than standing a mile from an exploding atomic bomb. 9 days later, he was gone. The man standing directly behind him survived because Slotin's body had worked as a human shield. After that day, Los Alamos banned all hands on criticality experiments, forever. Machines took over, controlled from a quarter of a mile away. But here is the part almost nobody knows. The Demon Core was never destroyed. That same summer, it was quietly melted down, and its plutonium was recycled into fresh cores for new American weapons. 2 men touched it. Both were dead within weeks, and the sphere that killed them was never buried and never sealed away. It was simply given new shapes. Somewhere in the most powerful arsenal on Earth, the demon may still exist. It never died, it just stopped using its old name.